Bonjour, mes amis.
Bro, the language hangover isn't over, is it?
Nope. Okay, continue. Your line. Your line. What? Your line.
Okay. You're high on sugar today.
Watermelon sugar high.
Oh my god. Okay, anyways, you're currently listening to
The Generation Gap.
Yeah.
This is the only lighthearted podcast starring two giggly girls, gathering people from different generations to discuss some not so lighthearted topics. Today's hello was in
French. Duh.
maybe. Okay, we get it. You know French, maybe. You're a pro at French.
Oui.
Can we please stick to English?
Yes.
Getting back to the podcast.
The podcast.
Okay, today's episode isn't as goofy as we are right now. The topic
now.
right now.
Roll your R's.
Oh my god, that's my line. Okay. But on a serious note, today's topic isn't as goofy as we are today because that we are right now because
we're goofy.
what? But that's the speciality of our podcast, Nivi. We turn serious topics into a goofy mess.
Goofy, oozy mess.
Gee. So, okay, today's topic is insecurities. Oof. Insecurities. Okay, so Nivi, I don't think I need to ask you because we have had numerous conversations about this, but for the sake of the podcast, I shall ask, do you have any insecurities?
Many.
Same. Kind of.
Sort of.
Maybe. Okay. Well, let's call upon today's special guest. Our first guest is the first to be younger than us on this
my
podcast,
God.
but by just a little.
Weirdos. As in, we both are weirdos.
Same inside joke though, never gets old. Please welcome Wina from Gen Z.
Hi everyone, hello.
Alrighty, our second guest is a digital marketing manager in a digital advertising agency. Sorry, that was difficult to say.
Yes.
But please welcome, joining us all the way from Chennai, my cousin, Miss Natasha from Gen Y. Yay!
Hi guys.
Alright, we're pleased to have you guys on our 4th episode. Oof, we're already on the 4th episode. Okay, anyways, so as you all know, today's topic is insecurities. So I feel like insecurities is a very sensitive topic which everyone has at least at some point in their life, everyone has some insecurity, and sometimes it's more obvious than another. And it's always about like very different things from person to person. The most common type of insecurity I've like come across in people is like about their appearance. But then again, there are people who are insecure about the way they talk, or about the way they walk, or about the way they
Eat.
eat. Yeah. So, yeah.
In some cases, like insecurities, like they're very evident. Like we can see it when we meet the person, like in their behavior.
Yeah, like in their body language, if they're insecure about something.
Yeah. But like some people have insecurities that no one would, expect
them to have. Yeah. So, do you guys have any insecurities?
Yes, I think I grew up with a lot of body image issues. I was bullied back in school and stuff for always being the bigger girl, or I was just made a lot of fun of my weight. But like, I think that took a toll on me later on when I was a teenager. However, it's been a very interesting journey so far because like now I don't care. Like now I'm just like, this is the way I am. As long as I'm healthy, hale and hearty, like I'm able to sleep right, I'm able to, breathe well, I'm really grateful for all the little things that people take for granted, like especially with the whole COVID situation. Other people are finding difficulty to breathe. Like it's the little things, if you take them for granted, it's very problematic. But however, in terms of insecurities growing up, the body images was one, and the other thing was that, you know, I was always told that, you know, okay, if you're like really chubby and everything, you know, you need to lose weight, only like thinner people look better and all of that. That was, it
Nonsense.
was kind of traumatizing. Like, imagine telling that to somebody who's like 12 or
Yeah,
like
that's the
10.
most
that's-
vulnerable age.
It's like that.
Yeah, it's really messed up. And like back in school, like people would, you know, we always had a height and weight checkup every year.
We
and
go to
actually
That's
that.
that term.
toxic. That is toxic.
Yeah, then they go to the corner and
Yeah.
they talk about
So
our height.
actually, their purpose of the height and weight checkup was honestly
checked.
because they had to keep a record of if, in case any child is getting any medical illnesses. Like it's probably like a government rule of, you know, on those lines where they just had to collect that information.
Yeah.
And all the boys in, so I went to a co-ed school, so all the boys would just like, you know, wait around the time, like, you know, and would sort of circle around and like around me, and when I was going next to the weighing scale, it kind of sucked. Okay, like
Oh my God,
it was
that
so
must be-
embarrassing and I would feel miserable. But yeah, like I think from grades like 9 to 12th, I really like I developed my confidence then. Like I started giving back to people who would make fun of my weight. It took a while to get comfortable with what I wear and all of those things, like really like experimenting. It took a while because you know, it doesn't go away easily. There's always a sense of self-doubt.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
no, I'm, you know, I'm chubby, like this is probably not for me. But like, who is making these rules?
Exactly.
Who is making these rules?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's pretty much how it's been.
Vina, do you have any insecurities?
It's really weird that I'm gonna say this, but I've not really had an insecurity as such. I feel like till date I've always loved myself. I've never felt like really conscious about anything.
That's
That's very
nice.
good.
That's like the
Never ever
best
felt
attitude you
conscious.
have.
Yeah.
Clap hands for that.
I literally, like, the weird thing about me is I can literally just look at myself and be like, wow, you look
Oh,
so
that's
nice. So
sweet.
nothing really like mattered to me that much.
You're very sorted in life.
And when I like,
That's great.
and when I heard what Natasha Didi here said, I was like, I can relate to it a little bit because even I'm like a little on the big side, and like even we have health and weight checkups, even we get to know our weight. But I never felt like weird about it. I was like, okay, I'm like this, gotta deal with it.
That's nice.
And the only times if I was ever told to lose weight, it was just because of my health, like in case anything happens. Because you know, most of the times people who are on the heavier side tend to have more like heart problems and stuff. So that's the only reason why I've ever been told that I need to lose weight. Otherwise, I've never ever felt anything wrong about myself.
So that's really good. I
That's
think you're like
basically-
surrounded by people who like support that, right? That's why you
Yeah.
never had that
Yeah,
feeling.
yeah.
So that's good. That's really nice. But then, what about you, Nivi? Do you have any insecurities?
Yeah, actually. Even like I have an insecurity about weight.
I think weight is a very common
Yeah.
thing.
And it
It's like if you're too thin, people will be insecure, and even if you're like on the heavier side than people. So yeah, but then it doesn't always have to be about appearance. Yeah, I mean, like I have this one friend who you know, but I shall not name now. But she's insecure about the way she speaks. So that's why she hates like recording herself doing any kind of speaking. Like for example, if we have to record a video for a birthday message or something, she gets very flustered to the point where she starts like shaking and like getting very very nervous because of like
Yeah,
because
being
when she-
camera conscious is pretty real.
it's not only about camera, she just doesn't like speaking also to like strangers because she feels like the way her lips move are very different. And the thing is that I never see it, so it's like, you know, that's another thing which is there, like, you know, sometimes you feel like, okay, I'm very conscious about this, but then no one around you can like see it. People around you will just be like, I don't see it. If you tell anyone, they don't understand what you're just telling them, but you're the only person who can see it.
But like there are some other people who like
Oh,
love
love telling you about your but things you're not insecure.
like even you may not know it, but they will just be like, this is wrong, go correct it. Like, bro.
Go mind your own business.
Yeah, no one cares about you.
Yeah. I was actually watching a show recently where, you know, I think the main protagonist was saying things like, everybody is so consumed by how they feel or how they look. Like, if I feel like at this very moment I don't look that great, or I'm feeling like so insecure, but I see that everyone around me is noticing the fact that I'm feeling like an X kind of way, like whatever kind of way, or I'm really nervous, I'm really flustered, you know, nobody cares. Everybody's too caught up in their own bubble to
Exactly,
like take
exactly.
attention and like pay notice, like pay attention to it actually. So I was like, that's kind of true when you think about it, because like a lot of times, we've all been in that situation. Like it could be before an exam, you're just like, you're so worried, or like before an interview, you're just like, oh shit, okay, like do we have to do this? It could be, stage fright, it could be anything. And it's like you're so worried about the way that you're speaking, you don't realize that a lot of people actually don't care. They're just caught up in their own little bubble. They're not going to judge you for the way that you speak or you say anything or like whatever it is, unless it is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And very, very evident, which in most cases it isn't. So now, these insecurities that we just spoke about, right, they can be very dangerous to our own mental health, our own well being, right? So, it can affect you in a very, very serious way. It can lead to anxiety, it can lead to depression, stress, a lot of these things. So, it's best to get rid of these things as soon as possible. But as we all know, all of these things are very easily said. So they're just I can't
Easy to
speak.
say.
Easy to say.
it.
So they're easier said than done, right?
Yeah.
So we all say, okay, just get rid of your insecurity, but we all know it's not as easy as it seems. So do you guys have any advice as to how we can overcome our insecurities? Now that especially you both don't have insecurities, which is the best thing, how did you guys overcome these insecurities?
So basically, whenever I had an insecurity, a very small one, it was about my skin color. The only thing that I did to overcome it was I started to notice the good sides about me instead of noticing the bad sides about me. I started ignoring any comment that was made about my skin shade. I started just looking at myself and thinking that as long as you feel that you're good, others' opinions don't matter. And I feel like if the insecurity is just what you
Right.
think about yourself, you should change it. But if it's something like if you change it and it becomes worse, I feel like you should not do it. So you can always talk to an adult or anybody who you really trust in to get some advice about it, about what you should do in case like you don't know what to do in such a situation. So that's what I feel.
I think you made a very valid point. Like, of course, we say that you should ignore other people's comments when they don't matter. But then, in certain cases, if you see it in yourself, like you are unhappy in your own body or you are unhappy about something about yourself, then I think it's like, okay, you should go ahead and change it if it's for your own happiness. I mean, if you're comfortable in your own skin, then that's perfectly fine. That's good. That's great. But if you, like, look in the mirror, you're not happy with something, and you think it's wrong the way you look or something, or just you don't like it, then maybe for your own happiness, it's okay to change it. But changing it for others is when the whole problem arises.
Yeah.
That's actually a valid point, because insecurity by definition is basically comparing yourself to like a certain set of standards that you grow up around or you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
Now, for example, like if you don't have a very nurturing environment, or like, if your friends are constantly comparing each other on like different, very oddly specific and very oddly specific standards, like in the sense of, oh no, this is a standard of beauty, oh no, or this is a standard of success. Like I know everybody wants to be rich, famous and beautiful. Like it's like a vague standard the entire world has, but like these things can be defined by your own self also. There is no need to follow the rules of society. And one way to get over them is to accept and embrace how you are, and accept and affirm to the fact that you've been given this life, and you've been given, like, for example, if you have a weight insecurity like I did, it was like I've just come to terms with myself, and I've come to terms with my body, and as long as I exercise and I put in the work and I eat right and I'm providing sufficient nutrients to stay healthy and to stay fit and be disease free, that's all that matters. And
correct.
if I'm going to wear a skirt or a sari or whatever I'm going to wear, and if I rock it, I rock it. Like
Yeah.
there is no turning back. And you have to accept and affirm to yourself every single day, saying that you know what, I am good looking, I am like enough, I am worthy of feeling good about myself. Like I don't need validation from people to come to me, who say that, oh no, you look great and all that. It feels nice up to a certain point, but if you don't love yourself, you're gonna keep searching in empty pots.
Yeah.
Because validation from other people only reflects once you're confident about your own self.
Yeah, and that'll also reflect in your like behavior, in your body language and
Yeah,
everything.
of course, because like you don't have when you don't have expectations from people, when you know for a fact that you identify yourself as a certain kind of person. Like I know, okay, I am smart, I am beautiful, I know I am like I'm onward to greater things. I know I am adding value to somebody's life or adding value to my friends and family, and I'm making them feel happy, like without any need of expecting the same back. And
Yeah.
that's when you sort of realize that you don't need other people to make you feel good. It's great if they do, but don't have the expectation.
Yeah.
Because once you start setting those expectations, you just feel down. Like now, if I know I post a picture on Instagram, okay, I know I have like 200 friends who'll comment on it and like it or whatever it is. But like, do those things mean anything? Or like, I posted it because I just wanted to. Like I wanted to feel good about myself.
Yeah.
But there are people out there who do it for opposite reasons. Maybe because that makes them feel better. Like they require the validation from external sources, being like, okay, you know what, yeah, I am still worthy of this. Like I am getting this many. It's not a bad metric to have. Like you're just doing it for a social media presence, which is fine. But to each their own, really. Like how do you define it for yourself? Like to me, it doesn't matter how many. If you've gotten 6 likes or 600, it does not make a difference.
Yeah.
But are you happy? Like did posting that picture make you feel happy? Like you're sharing little moments of your life.
Yeah.
Are you in line with that? Because there's so much to look forward to. It's about a perspective that you have.
Yeah. So like that's again like a whole new topic about social media as well and the different things people
Yeah, but
use it
my
for.
the point I was sort of trying to put across is that if you don't have the right mindset towards yourself,
Yeah.
like nothing else will matter. No matter how much you try to get over an X factor about yourself that makes you feel self-conscious, unless you don't change that mindset, nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Accept yourself for the way you are.
Yes.
Because that is really essential.
Yeah. So own it, embrace it, and just be confident in yourself.
Yes.
That's the key.
Yeah, like because everybody is made differently. Everybody is here to do different things, and you interact for different reasons. So like why hold back from being your best self?
Yeah.
And if you've been given this vessel that you have to be in, and you have to do certain things, which is great, but how are you going to add value to other people's life? That depends on the kind of person that you are.
Yeah.
And if you're insecure about certain factors, and if you know that okay, this is something bad about me that I'd like to change. For example, a bad quality in me is I procrastinate like a lot. It's unnecessary, but I try to make it better by changing little habits. I was like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna make my to-do list, I'm gonna write it down, and I'm gonna scratch it off, and it helps me to make sure that I stay on track and I get my work done. Because there have been times that I've just left things for months together, it even though it was like a 5-minute job,
Wow.
it would not have taken time. There have been those days as well, but then it's about just getting into that zone of like no, I have to do this right now. But this is a habit that I want to change, and I don't like it. If somebody points it out to me, I get offended. Like why are you being lazy? Like just let me be please. Like that's I get defensive about it, but I know it's not the right thing or the right attitude to have. So with insecurities, it works the same way. It's about a perspective, and like if society has a certain perspective that is there, that either you change it because you want to, or like just embrace who you are. because they're going to like you whether or not, and if they don't like you, too bad. Like, move
Yeah.
on, find new
Yeah.
friends.
You
I'm
don't
so
need
bad
those
in this world
you
right
don't
now.
need those people in your life. They can go.
Yeah, they can go sit all alone.
Another thing that works for some people is to, like, when they feel, this is like mainly if you have an insecurity about your appearance or like weight or something. It works for some people that they just really want to pamper themselves and take the time to just nurture themselves a
Yes.
lot, because that makes them feel again like special, and then that will help them gain the confidence. So if that works for you, that's great, then you can go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to just take a nice
Yes.
bubble bath.
Lucky and a bubble
Oh my
bath.
god, it's the greatest feeling ever.
Yes.
So relaxing.
You should just watch a movie when you're in the bath. Nivi hasn't done that yet.
Yeah.
Go do that.
Like having like a really nice satisfying meal.
Yes.
Have you guys ever had that feeling like you were
Food.
craving
Yes,
something
food
and you're
today.
just like, oh my god, finally, it's so nice. Like, you just eat it. Oh, it's so good. I had this craving very recently, I think about 2 weeks ago, with sushi. I went out with my friends to have sushi, and I was like, wow, I haven't craved sushi this much in my entire
I
life.
don't like sushi, but it's okay.
Okay, we can figure that out. But you should go with someone who's eaten Japanese food before. Like,
I've tried.
because it's very confusing to order
Yeah.
it. Like, it took me a while. My friends were like, damn, like, they're super enthu about Japanese food. So they're like, they're like, oh no, we know what to order. Don't worry. We know what you like and you don't like. And it's like, okay, great, order whatever. And it's okay. Like, you keep trying new things.
I've tried it. I still
Slightly
don't like
off topic.
it. I just don't like sushi. But
For me, if I had to do something that really comforts me and makes me feel special, I would just go to my mom. Like, she's just gonna hug me. I'm gonna feel great. That's literally what makes me
Yes.
feel good and special.
yeah, that's very true.
cute.
Go and hug your mommy. That's the best support you get.
Thank you.
This conversation was very powerful and nice. But before we
and
wind up,
noise, Nivi, and
and
noise.
yes. But before we wind up today, we would like to address 2 questions sent by our Insta followers regarding this topic.
Okay, so let's see. Okay,
Yeah.
the first question that we were asked is, to all the generations, how do you guys think that insecurities about looks have changed over time? That's a very interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
So I think personally the insecurities over like looks has changed over time is because the access to the internet has increased. Like, people are a lot more, and especially being a part of the digital media industry, I know how much shit is Photoshop.
No,
I'm sorry I'm sorry I use the word shit, but like, yeah, it's really messed up. And like, it's social media was supposed to be for people to interact and stay in touch with their friends. It's turned into something very, very different. There are pros and cons to everything, and about how much influence you're allowing in your lives. Like, earlier back, I would say early 2000s and stuff, like, only celebrities had the power to influence.
Yeah.
Like, now on social media you have
exactly,
influencers.
yes.
Yeah.
Like, literally, that's a job.
Yeah.
That is a very real job.
Influencers.
What do you do for a living? Oh,
Like,
I'm an
it's great.
influencer.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's great that they're making content. Like, one aspect of it is making content, which not everybody has a skill has, but it's an upcoming field. And like, you guys, for example, are doing podcasts, right? So this is also a form of content creation, which is great, because podcasts, influencer marketing, all of these things are on the rise. But in terms of like how it influences the looks aspect of it, those who was that guy that Ronak used to like a lot? Jake or
Jake
some
Paul, Logan
what
Paul.
was his yeah him yeah. So like, people like him, people like Addison Rae, and like, I see so many
God.
like Kendall and Kylie Jenner, all of these people. Like, it's great that they're making money off of this, and they're influencing a lot of people, and they're like looping in with brands and stuff. But they've also sort of unconsciously increased insecurities among very
Yeah,
young
that's true.
Yeah.
teenage girls
Yeah.
and boys, because everybody has a certain standard or a certain lifestyle that they're looking up to, and if parents aren't able to meet those set of standards, they're just like, oh no, you can't buy me my Air Jordans. Like, oh my god, I'm gonna cry, I can't do without
Yes.
this.
Yes.
It's ridiculous. Please, it's a pair of shoes.
Exactly.
Couldn't agree more.
Yes.
Okay, but as much as I agree
Like-
with that, right? Maybe it was another view of this that I initially had when I read the question was that now, because people are becoming more open to it, it's also reducing certain people's insecurities. I mean, of course, social media can also enhance it,
Because
but
it's
in certain cases, it's like people are becoming. It's not applicable to everyone, but in certain cases, people are becoming more accepting as well. So for certain people, it has become. a
it
thing wherein
really
their
it really
insecurities-
depends on how vulnerable you are to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I feel about this is it's not only social media, but it's also those few, beauty magazines that you get. They've set like a particular beauty standard that you need to wear.
Yeah.
You need to have a makeup look
Yeah.
like this. I was watching like this Darman video a few days ago where it was like this person is having skin problems and the makeup doesn't suit her. Whenever she takes off her makeup, people like start shaming her because she has that particular skin problem. She is not up to the beauty standard. They show like the magazines where the models have so much makeup on and look so like beautiful according to people. And I feel like these beauty standards that we have set just don't like help anybody. They just make us feel insecure about ourselves, because I feel like there are still those little places where you're judged because of how you look, like your face. Like in like for example, you can be an
Yeah.
air hostess, so you have to wear makeup. You can't stay without makeup. That is one thing that I feel like just makes us feel insecure about ourselves, because like why can't we just go to our work without looking and fitting that beauty standard that the society has made? I mean, like, I feel like that just makes us insecure. I feel like it just makes us feel, wish I was as beautiful as the people on the magazine covers. I wish I looked like that. I wish I had makeup like that. Those are the few things that I feel just makes us feel insecure about ourselves.
Yeah. What you said is true, but then again, the thing about makeup is like Didi said, it's about your perception of it and the use of it. If you're wearing it for other people to think that you're pretty, then it's really very pointless.
But if
like,
you feel confident in it,
yeah, if it helps you like
Exactly.
feel more confident, then it's fine. It's nothing like very wrong in it.
Yeah, then that's completely fine. But like right now I feel like majority of those people who are so influenced by these beauty magazines and these models who wear so much makeup, the way they dress, feel like they would all be thinking that I wish I could look like that. I wish I could wear that dress. I wish I could have
Yes.
a face shape like that. There are so many things. So that's what I was trying to convey. So
You're absolutely right that way, because I think beauty magazines are a part of a much more deeper culture at this point, because they came in a lot before social media did, and they've been setting standards from like eons. So, another like important thing to gauge was like the build of technology and how much Photoshop we've been using, like even in magazines, like to make sure that the model doesn't have pores on her skin. Like our skin
Yeah.
breathes, we have pores, guys.
Yeah.
Everybody does. And like acne is very real, and like there was a recent trend, I think it's still trending if I'm not wrong, on Instagram reels, where they show me something natural. That song, I don't know if you
Sorry,
guys
both
have
are very
seen it.
like
So it's
off social
basically-
media. The only reason we are on social media is because of the podcast of this. We're like,
nuh-uh.
Okay, good job. Like this is literally my job to be on social media. It's literally my job to stay updated with all these trends. So there was a trend basically like on Instagram Reels which said, there was a song, okay? They which said, I'm so sick and tired of the Photoshop. Show me something natural or something, show me what you got. That was the line. So it was
Okay.
basically a bunch of girls who had like full faces of makeup, or like, who were like super dressy, and then they went all natural. They just took it off and they're just like posing like, yes, I'm fabulous either way. So there's like this is a very like reverse kind of trend. And in between, like earlier, there was another trend of people glowing up.
Yeah.
Like,
Ah, yeah,
that
that
they
one
would
I've
be
seen.
like,
The
okay,
glow up
I'm taking
diaries.
Yeah.
like I'm taking videos of myself, like when I'm like, in my bare minimum, and then like they're just switching onto a very like glamorous,
yeah.
like false lashes and whatnot.
It was something like
you
how
know,
I
like,
went
it
from
was
being this
crazy.
to this.
And then there's something called the
Yeah,
ABG
yeah.
girl transformation,
What is that?
like ancient
Yeah.
baby girl.
Okay. So next question.
Yeah. So the next
Yes.
question is, what are your words on self-love?
Self-love. Ooh.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
What are your words on self-love?
Self-love.
Okay.
Important.
You don't need to reach anyone else's expectations about how you have to look, how you have to feel. As long as you feel good according to what you're doing, not according to what others want you to do, you have to you should just look at yourself and tell yourself that you are perfect with all your flaws. Feel like that is what self-love is for me. Like, just
Your flaws are what
don't
make you
care
perfect.
about what
Yeah.
don't care about what others expect you to be, what others expect you to do. Just do what you feel good doing, and that's what I feel will not only help you, like build your self-love, but will also help you understand it, help you finally start recognizing the real you and start loving yourself. So that's what I feel.
Yeah.
Interesting. I have the same view more or less, to be honest, but I just think self-love is like a one day at a time kind of thing. Like every single day you have to be grateful for something that you've done, or like, a little thing that you accomplished. Like for, it could be getting your skincare routine right. It could be, just making sure to take a shower and you just got out of bed that day. And it's about the little things and how much effort you put into yourself and making yourself feel better, into progressing each day. And it's also about, like Vaina said, like, you can't compare it to societal standards. Like, you have to do it for your own happiness.
Yeah.
And how do you define that happiness? Like, for me personally, it's about by doing little tasks. Like, I know for a fact that if I, go for a walk, like, I love to walk in general. Like, I find it very peaceful and very calming. So, like, I know if I go for a walk every single day or something, like, it's a me time thing. Like, putting on a face mask, like, just chilling, watching Netflix, scrolling through Instagram, or like, listening to a podcast. Like, just the little things that you do for yourself. Like, it's only solely for your benefit. It is for nobody else. That is what self-love is, according to me.
Yes, very true. And we all have a tendency to punish ourselves constantly for something wrong that we did.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, what self-love is, like, you should, rather than finding things to punish yourself for, find things to love yourself for and appreciate yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think accountability is also very real in terms of punishment, because like, if you know you're supposed to do something and that something is very important and it impacts, something else, then you have to hold yourself accountable. Like, if you're trying to set a habit, or if you're trying to get into a habit of reading a book every day, like, or just trying to get into the habit of reading, making sure you stay accountable is a way of sort of reading 5 pages a day. Like, 1 page is better than 5, like, no pages, like, just making sure that, no, I want to inculcate this habit is important for me, so I'm going to work on it, and I'm going to work on it every single day. It's the little steps that you take towards it.
Yeah, true. Okay, so I think that brings us to an end of this episode of The Generation Gap.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
This is a lot of fun.
Thank you. We are ending with a smile.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you. A huge thank you to Natu Didi and Vaina for coming out and sharing your stories. We really, really, really appreciate your courage. and you guys were awesome.
So if you like this episode, please make sure to follow us here on Spotify and check out our Instagram page, The Official Jancap, for weekly interaction to be part of a third question segment.
Please show some love on our YouTube channel too. Thank you,
you.
and have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye.